What's going on, guys? That's Molly Crickman.
And that's Amanda Hamilton.
And we are here filming 0 to 125 of Vapor Trail Race Series. So a little bit of background on this. Molly and I are mountain bikers. I would say we're pretty good mountain bikers, right?
Yeah, I mean, not to toot our own horns, but we shred.
Yeah. However, we shred kind of going downhill. Self-proclaimed park rats here, I would say.
Enduro racer, park rat.
Yeah. And we had this really great idea to go do the Vapor Trail. For those of you who don't know,
that's going to be 125 miles, 17,000 feet of climbing, all in one race starting at 10 p.m.
I literally do not know what we've gotten ourselves into.
It's crazy. I mean, I think I've acclimated to the idea a little bit more, but the first time I heard that, my thought was, oh, hell no, not ever. And now I'm like, I guess we're doing that.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was too, because so we ride together all the time, and Molly and I were at the park, ripping hotties down Angel Fire Bike Park over here, and they were like, we should do the Vapor Trail 125, and I was like, I love that, what is it? Of course they tell me, and I'm like, well, I kind of already said yes, so we should just get into it. So what we're gonna do here, guys, is we're gonna take a year to train for this. We call this 0 to 125, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you, we're not completely at zero yet. Like I said, Molly and I have been riding bikes for 5-6 years. We've been riding bikes quite seriously for 2 years, but we've never really got into like that cross-country endurance space.
And I think that's what it's gonna take for us to level up in our downhill and enduro riding. Also, I'm coming at this from an ACL injury. I tore my ACL in May.
You're literally at zero.
Almost. Today's my first day back at the bike park. I'm 11 weeks out from surgery. I had surgery July 25th of 2023. And this kind of came about for me is because I like to have a goal and something to be pushing towards, and that this year was going to be bigger drops, bigger jumps, bigger step downs, harder, steeper tack.
Yeah.
And that can't happen because I can't fall on my injured or recovering leg, but I can ride my bike as much as I want.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's do an endurance thing, and this is great. It's kind of the push I needed to become like, I never call myself, we don't call ourselves uphill athletes, we call ourselves downhill athletes, and I kind of want to change that and see what that does for our downhill riding.
Exactly. One of the biggest races I've done ever was literally a 31-mile marathon race. Like, think about this, I was like on a hardtail. Also fun fact, it was in Kansas, so it was literally at like 300 feet of elevation. So I'm kind of scared to, one, crank out 17,000 feet in a place like Colorado where your average elevation in this whole ride is probably going to be around 9,000. What about you?
The biggest race I've done would be an enduro, a one-day enduro race that probably has like max 40 miles and max 4,000 feet of climbing. I just did a 46-mile gravel race for fun as part of injury recovery that had about 4,000 feet of climbing, but that's it.
Oh, no.
What's the biggest like ride you've ever, like how much have you climbed in one sitting?
I was really trying to think about that because I think it's kind of embarrassing. I think probably one of the biggest rides I've done is literally 3,300 or 4,000 feet. Yeah. So I'm getting kind of overwhelmed thinking about 17,000 feet and 125 miles. Also, like, I feel like with my cross-country race, there wasn't a lot of elevation. With your gravel race, like, you were going so fast and probably on pretty chill terrain.
Yeah, so totally not the same thing.
Yeah, like, I'm kind of scared to climb single track for that long.
Yeah. And I think the biggest ride I've done is also just over 4, which actually is Canyon Creek.
Oh, no.
Which is on the on the trail.
Nice. It's early October 2023. This race is going to be in September 2024. So we're giving ourselves about a year to train, and we're really, really excited to bring you guys along with us because we're going to talk about benchmarking where our fitness is right now, getting to learn the tech and the machinery that we're going to be riding on. Like, I've never actually ridden a gravel bike. I've never ridden a race bike, so that's going to be a huge learning curve for me.
Yeah, building it. I've never had a cross-country bike. I don't know anything about that, like building one of those, so that's going to be really fun. I'm stoked to get like the nutrition dialed.
Exactly.
I've never done anything that starts at 10 p.m.
No.
Or that you have to fuel constantly like that, so it's going to be a huge learning experience to get there.
Exactly, and like I've never really ridden in the night, so this race is going to take place at night. I've also never programmed a training regimen for something this big, so we're really excited to take you guys along on this adventure. Maybe some of you guys can even educate us on how to make this training a little bit more smart. So we want to take you along with our successes, our failures, and really, really make sure that you guys can maybe help us, but also be inspired to do something really big like this. So we can't wait to see you guys on the trail. We'll see you at Vapor Trail next year. Woo!